Earth is the ultimate artist, sculpting beauty and mystery over millions of years. From windswept towers to rocks split with surgeon-like precision, nature has crafted masterpieces that defy logic. In this documentary, we journey across continents to explore the top 20 weirdest rock formations and geological wonders. Prepare to be amazed. Nature is the ultimate artist. From mountains that look like mushrooms to rocks that appear to defy gravity. Earth is full of strange and stunning natural creations that leave us scratching our heads. Get ready for towering stones, twisted landscapes, and formations that look straight out of sci-fi movie. Make sure you stay to number 1. You won't believe your eyes. And hey, if you love learning about the planet's oddities, smash that like button and subscribe to the wild wonders of Earth. The Wave, Arizona, USA. In the Vermilion Cliffs of Arizona lies a hypnotic sculpture called the Wave. Formed from Jurassic Navajo sandstone, its curves are the result of relentless wind and water erosion over 190 million years. This natural formation resembles frozen liquid. Each swirl a geological brushstroke. Access is limited by lottery to preserve its fragile ridges, making each visit a privilege. Permits are scarce, and for good reason. This surreal hike feels like a walk across another planet. Chocolate Hills, Bohol, Philippines. Over 1,200 conical hills pepper the landscape of Bohol. Known as the Chocolate Hills, they are made of limestone covered in grass that turns brown in the dry season, hence the name. Geologists believe they're remnants of coral reefs pushed upward and weathered over time, but locals tell stories of giants and broken hearts. Legends adding soul to science. Stonehenge, England. Built over 5,000 years ago, Stonehenge remains one of the world's greatest mysteries. Some stones weigh over 25 tons and were transported from over 150 miles away. Their alignment with solstices suggests astronomical significance. Was it a burial ground, a calendar, or a temple to the heavens? Its secrets remain etched in stone. Wave Rock, Australia. Wave Rock rises 15 meters above the plains of Western Australia like a stone tsunami. Formed over 2.7 billion years, it owes its shape to erosion and chemical weathering. Aboriginal legend speaks of the rainbow serpent shaping the land. Modern geology offers insight, but the wonder remains. Bryce Canyon, Utah, USA. Bryce Canyon's amphitheaters are filled with hoodoos, tall spires carved by ice and rain. This isn't a canyon, but a plateau edge sculpted by erosion. Each hoodoo tells a story of geological layering, freezing water, and time. In Paiute legend, they were ancient beings turned to stone. Bryce Canyon was not formed from erosion initiated from a central stream, meaning it technically is not a canyon. Instead, headward erosion excavated large amphitheater-shaped features in the Cenozoic age rocks of the Pansaugan Plateau. This erosion resulted in delicate and colorful pinnacles called hoodoos that are up to 200 feet, 60 meters high. A series of amphitheaters extends more than 20 miles, 30 kilometers north to south within the park. Stone Forest, Yunnan, China. The stone forest of China resembles a petrified jungle. These karst formations, once submerged under ocean, rose through tectonic activity. Rain carved them into sharp towers over 270 million years. The Yi people believe immortals once danced here. The forest is approximately 90 kilometers, 56 miles, east of the provincial capital Kunming. The tall rocks seem to arise from the ground in a manner somewhat reminiscent of stalagmites, with many looking like petrified trees, thereby creating the illusion of a forest made of stone. These formations, caused by the weathering of limestone, and are a tourist attraction for both overseas and domestic tourists, with bus tours bringing tourists from Kunming, Moroi boulders, New Zealand. Like marbles dropped by giants, the Moroi boulders were formed by mineral sediment collecting around ancient fossils. This process, called concretion, can take up to 4 million years. Some are cracked open to reveal crystal interiors, Earth's own geodes. They occur scattered either as isolated or clusters of boulders within a stretch of beach where they have been protected in a scientific reserve. These boulders are gray-colored septarian concretions, which have been exhumed from the mudstone and bedrock enclosing them and concentrated on the beach by coastal erosion. Especially in recent years, the boulders have been a popular tourist attraction. The most striking aspect of the boulders is their unusually large size and spherical shape, with a distinct bimodal size distribution. Approximately 1/3 of the boulders range in size from about 0.5 to 1.0 meter in diameter. The other 2/3 from 1.5 to 3.3 feet in diameter, 2.2 meters, 4.9 to 7.2 feet. Goblin Valley, Utah, USA. In Utah's Goblin Valley, erosion has sculpted Entrada sandstone into bizarre humanoid shapes. Each figure looks like a goblin frozen mid-motion. This Martian terrain was carved by wind, rain, and time. A natural sculpture garden of the weird. The distinct shapes of these rocks result from an erosion-resistant layer of rock atop relatively softer sandstone. Goblin Valley State Park and Bryce Canyon National Park, also in Utah, about 190 miles, 310 kilometers to the southwest, contain some of the largest occurrences of hoodoos in the world. Evidence of Native American cultures, including the Fremont, Paiute, and Ute, is common throughout the San Rafael Swell in the form of pictograph and petroglyph panels. Goblin Valley is noted for several rock art panels, as well as the rock formations. The secluded Goblin Valley was then found by cowboys searching for cattle. Publicity attracted visitors to the valley despite its remoteness. In 1954, it was proposed that Goblin Valley be protected from vandalism. The state of Utah later acquired the property and established Goblin Valley State Reserve. The Pinnacles, Australia. Beneath Western Australia's desert, seashells once collected and compressed into limestone. When the sand eroded away, the pinnacles emerged, jagged golden pillars, each telling the story of a vanished sea. The area contains thousands of weathered limestone pillars. Some of the tallest pinnacles reach heights of up to 3.5 meters, 11 feet, above the yellow sand base. The different types of formations include ones which are much taller than they are wide and resemble columns, suggesting the name of pinnacles, while others are only a meter, 3 feet 3 inches, or so in height and width, resembling short tombstones. A cross-bedding structure can be observed in many pinnacles, where the angle of deposited sand changed suddenly due to changes in prevailing winds during formation of the limestone beds. Pinnacles with tops similar to mushrooms are created when the calcrete capping is harder than the limestone layer below it. The relatively softer lower layers weather and erode at a faster rate than the top layer, leaving behind more material at the top of the pinnacle. Al Nasla Rock, Saudi Arabia. Perfectly sliced and standing balanced, Al Nasla Rock appears man-made, but the explanation lies in natural faulting, amplified by erosion. Petroglyphs nearby suggest ancient reverence for this enigmatic stone. Al Nasla Rock is a unique geological formation located in the deserts of Saudi Arabia. It is renowned for its striking appearance, characterized by a massive sandstone block that appears to be split cleanly in two, almost as if by a laser or some other precise cutting tool. This remarkable natural wonder has captivated the imaginations of scientists, geologists, and tourists alike due to its mysterious and seemingly impossible formation. The Al Nasla Rock is a landform 50 kilometers, 31 miles south of the Tamar Oasis in Saudi Arabia. It is a large sandstone rock split neatly down the middle into two parts. both balanced on small pedestals. The overall shape of the rock is due to wind erosion and the chemical weathering made possible by the moist conditions in the protected underside of the rock. It is split in two by a joint. The rock is about 6 meters 20 feet high and 9 meters 30 feet wide, and is covered on its southeast face with numerous petroglyphs. Singi de Maraha, Madagascar. Singi de Maraha is a labyrinth of razor-sharp stone. Formed by acidic rain on limestone, it's home to rare lemurs and plants. The name means where one cannot walk barefoot. This is nature's fortress, beautiful, deadly, and alive. The Singis are karstic plateaus in which groundwater has undercut the elevated uplands and has gouged caverns and fissures into the limestone. In several regions on western Madagascar, centering on the park and adjacent nature reserve, the superposition of vertical and horizontal erosion patterns has created dramatic forests of limestone needles. It is characterized by needle-shaped limestone formations above cliffs over the Manambalo River. The incredibly sharp limestone formations can cut through equipment and flesh easily, which makes traversing them extremely difficult. The word Singi is derived from a local word meaning the place where one cannot walk barefoot. Valley of the Moon, Argentina. Dry, cracked, timeless, Ishigualasto, or the Valley of the Moon, is a fossil-rich desert where the Earth seems frozen in prehistory. Rocks shaped like submarines, sphinxes and balls defy logic and demand awe. This geological masterpiece also provides an exceptional environment for preserving fossils. As erosion wore down the rocks, it unveiled fossils hidden within the layers. Moon Valley is now considered one of the world's most important paleontological sites. The well-preserved fossils found here offer valuable insights into the history of life on Earth, shedding light on the evolution of early dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures. As you explore the park, you'll find yourself captivated by the incredible rock formations that cover the landscape. These natural wonders have been shaped by millions of years of erosion and weathering from wind and water, giving them a variety of forms and colors. Many of these formations resemble familiar objects or animals, earning them imaginative names that only add to their mystique. For example, the iconic El Hongo, or the mushroom, stands out as the main symbol of the park. Resembling a giant mushroom with a slender stem and broad cap, this unique rock formation is just the beginning of the geological wonders you'll encounter. You can also see El Gusano, or the worm, a long and curved rock that looks like a giant caterpillar. La Esfinge, or the Sphinx, a majestic rock that resembles the famous Egyptian monument. El Submarino, or the submarine, a dark and elongated rock that emerges from the ground like a naval vessel. And Cancha de Bochas, or the bowling field, a group of spherical rocks that look like bowling balls ready to be thrown. Bisty Badlands, New Mexico, USA. The Bisty Badlands offers roughly 60 square miles of remote badlands and some of the most unusual scenery in the world. National Geographic Traveler listed the Bisty Chakdenazin Wilderness, also known as the Bisty Badlands, one of their must-visit adventure destinations. The Bisty landscape erodes at the rate of 1 centimeter per year. At the base of many of the formations is Lewis Shale, the oldest and softest layer, which gets undercut by frequent floods. The youngest and most resilient layer, sandstone from the Cretaceous period, sits on top and protects the layers of silt, unbaked clay, and coal in between. Some of the coal and clay burned 30 million years ago during the eruption of Shiprock, Singi says. The Bisty Denizin Wilderness area covers 45,000 acres of badlands just south of Farmington, New Mexico. This high desert wilderness features a vast landscape containing some of the most unique rock formations on this planet. The Bisty Denizin Wilderness supports a small number of nesting golden eagles, ferruginous hawks, and prairie falcons. All of these species are extremely susceptible to human disturbance during the nesting season from February 1st to July 1st. If the adult birds are approached too closely, even for a short time, they will likely abandon the nest, leaving their eggs or young to die of exposure. Be aware that disturbing nesting eagles is a violation of the Bald and Golden Eagle Act and could result in civil or criminal penalties. Bentonite Hills, Utah, U.S. Utah's bentonite hills are vibrant with mineral color, also known as the Rainbow Hell. Their rounded forms are made of volcanic ash clay that expands with water. Each band of color represents a different period in Earth's history. It's like walking through a time-coded rainbow. The bentonite hills appear as softly contoured, banded hills in varying hues of brown, red, purple, gray, and green. The hills are composed of the brushy basin shale member of the Morrison Formation. This layer was formed during Jurassic times when mud, silt, fine sand, and volcanic ash were deposited in swamps and lakes. Bentonite clay, altered volcanic ash, absorbs water and becomes very slick and gummy when wet, making vehicle or foot travel difficult or impossible. Repeated cycles of absorbing water and then drying results in a popcorn-like appearance on the clay's surface. Yelyu Geopark, Taiwan. Yelyu Geopark features all sorts of strange-looking rocks. It is part of Datun Mountain that stretches out to the sea. Weathering, marine erosion, and crustal movement together created the world-renowned scenery of mushroom rocks, sea caves, tofu rocks, candle rocks, and giant's kettles. Among all, Queen's Head is the most representative landmark and check-in attraction in Yelyu. Cute Princess, a rock that resembles a girl with a ponytail, is considered the successor of Queen's Head. Before entering the Cape area, you will see duplicates of Queen's Head and Cute Princess, as well as colorful cartoon rock figures. This place is shaded by trees and not too close to the rock area in the sea, making it a perfect place for children to take a break or to take photos. The coastal Cape section is divided into 3 areas. The first area features diverse, strangely shaped mushroom rocks and candle rocks. Here you can see the formation process of mushroom rocks. Mushroom rocks of different sizes are presented here, creating a lovely and healing scene. The most popular spots in Yelyu, Queen's Head, Dragon's Head Rock, and Gorilla Rock, are located in the second area. This area is close to the sea where you can find Fairy Shoe and Peanut Rock. When coming to Yelyu, don't forget to look for these attractions. The third area is the Wave Cut platform, featuring 24 Filial Piety Hill and Pearl Rock. This place is also an important ecological conservation area of Yelyu Geopark. When coming to Yelyu, don't forget to look for these attractions. Split Apple Rock, New Zealand. On the northern coastline of New Zealand's South Island is a geological wonder that is world-renowned, traditionally called Split Apple Rock due to its appearance as a giant sliced-in-two apple. The giant boulder, given its height and fairly symmetrical round shape of about 18 feet in diameter, could weigh as much as 238 imperial tons, 242 metric tons. It appears to sit on a boulder pile composed of similarly high-quality, hard granite components, whereas the general material of the surrounding area is of a softer or more flaky composition, totally unlike the split apple boulder or the platform boulders upon which it is cradled and housed. The general terrain of the area is predominantly a composite rock made up of many varying elements. It is semi-hard and durable, but quite crumbly under pressure and could never be used for making stone blocks. Whereas the incredibly hard granite found on the split apple boulder was formed from molten magma under tremendous pressure far beneath the Earth's crust. The immediate vicinity, local terrain, is seemingly devoid of any known deposits of similar material. The giant split boulder sits on a boulder pile platform island that does not appear to be a natural rock upthrust, but more like a purpose-built, piled-up structure of high-quality, durable support boulders. The giant split apple also seems to be locked into position by chalk boulders to underpin, cradle, and stabilize the two giant halves firmly into a set position and orientation. Chalk boulders to underpin, cradle, and stabilize the two giant halves firmly into a set position and orientation. Lena Pillars, Russia. The Lena Pillars are a natural rock formation along the banks of the Lena River in the Sakha Republic, Yakutia, Russia. This geological formation is known for its stunning vertical cliffs that rise as high as 100 meters, 328 feet, from the riverbank. The pillars are composed of limestone and shale and have been shaped by the erosive forces of the Lena River over millions of years. Flora and fauna. The Lena Pillars Nature Park is home to a variety of plant and animal species adapted to the harsh climatic conditions of the region. The park provides habitat for species like reindeer, moose, brown bears, and various bird species. Cultural significance. The Lena Pillars are not only a natural wonder, but also hold cultural significance for the indigenous people of the region, including the Sakha, Udi, Yakut people. The area is rich in folklore and legends associated with the pillars. Accessibility. While the Lena Pillars are a remote and challenging destination to reach due to the harsh climate and limited infrastructure, they attract scientists, nature enthusiasts, and tourists who are willing to explore this unique and pristine environment. Visitors to the Lena Pillars can experience the breathtaking scenery, take boat trips along the Lena River, and explore the surrounding wilderness. The site is a testament to the Earth's geological history and the forces that have shaped its landscapes over millions of years. Lena River. The Lena River, one of the longest rivers in the world, plays a crucial role in the geographical setting of the Lena Pillars. The pillars are aligned along the riverbanks, rising vertically from the water's edge. The Lena River itself is significant, flowing for over 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, from its source in the Baikal Mountains to the Laptov Sea in the Arctic Ocean. White Desert National Park is located just slightly northwest of the central point of Egypt. The park covers an area of 115.8 square miles, 300 square kilometers. The White Desert is part of the Farafra Depression in the Sahara Desert. It also features the Farafra Oasis, the Ain el Makfi Oasis, and the Ain el Wadi Oasis. The park is renowned for the white sand rock formations, and the introduction to the Great Sand Sea. The larger Farafra Depression covers an area of 380 square miles, 980 square kilometers, creating the second largest depression in Egypt. However, it features the lowest number of inhabitants. The white sands manifest as piles and rows of white piles scattered across orange sandy-based landscapes, as rock spires, and as other unusual white rock formations. The white sand and white rocks are comprised of either white calcium, quartz crystals, or limestone. In many places, the collection of white sand appears like snow that has frosted the desert. These white quartz crystals have created several unique, picturesque rock shapes. The Pinnacle White Rock Formation is known as Crystal Mountain. It is completely made out of crystal and features a hole through the middle of it. The elevation of the park varies from 104.99 feet to 1,158.14 feet above sea level. The tallest point occurs at El Kes Abu Said. Some of the landscapes feature protruding orange-colored rock formations with white desert facets surrounding the base of each of these rugged rock features. Along with protecting the unique white sands and rock formations of the Sahara Desert, the park also protects an array of wildlife. Some of the more popular species include Barbary sheep, fennec fox, Dorcas gazelle, jackal red fox, Ramim gazelle, Ruppel's fox, and sandcats. The majority of people who visit the national park are taken back by the white sands and the white sand rock formations, which are unique compared to the more traditional shades of red and orange sands blanketed across the rest of the Sahara Desert. Giant's Causeway. Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway is one of Ireland's most famous landmarks, so naturally the Giant's Causeway Visitor Centre is proportionally quite busy. Most visitors simply drive to the Giant's Causeway, visit the center, and then walk down to the Giant's Causeway, or take the shuttle. Local communities use stories to explain the curious appearance of the causeway stones long before the site's geological origins were known. The most well-known story is that of Finn MacCool, or Fionn MacCumhail. This story was first documented by Irish monks in the medieval period, but could be much older. The Giant's Causeway is one of the most intriguing landscapes in Ireland, and the world in general. In fact, it is so unique that it has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site for being a spectacular area of global geological importance on the seacoast at the edge of the Antrim Plateau. This all combines to make it a spectacular photography spot. Whether you're an amateur photographer or a pro behind the lens, avail yourself of the amazing landscapes for stunning photography. It's difficult to explain the awe-inspiring experience of being able to walk, climb, and scoot your way across this ancient volcanic battlefield. Wildlife lovers and bird watchers should keep an eye out for the variety of birds, such as stonechats, gannets, fulmars, and peregrine falcons, who live in and around the Causeway coast. This region is great for spotting and photographing Irish wildlife. Learn more about bird watching in Ireland here, or if you prefer the oceans, read about Ireland's coastal wildlife in this article. Ferry Chimneys, Turkey. On the high plateau of central Anatolia in Turkey, magic can seem real. What else but enchantment could shape rock and stone into spindly stems that rise, mushroom-like, out of the earth? How could geology ever explain such a surreal phenomenon? Together, the landscape of spires looks like something out of a Salvador Dali fever dream. Even the nickname of these formations, Fairy Chimneys, evokes the supernatural, but magic doesn't exist. Too bad. The chimneys are a result of a geologic process that began millions of years ago when volcanic eruptions rained ash across what would eventually become Turkey. That ash hardened into tuff, a porous rock, which was covered by a layer of basalt. Finally, the long work of erosion began. As millennia passed, the softer tuff wore down, giving way to pillars that stand as tall as 130 feet. The harder basalt erodes more slowly, forming a protective, mushroom-shaped cap over each one. Just like that, a fairy chimney is born. No pixie dust required. That's not to say the chimneys aren't magical. The history that took place around these formations, and the ingenious ways humans have used them for centuries, are stories worthy of any fairy tale. The chimneys are located in a region once known as Cappadocia, which ran through the historic Silk Road trading route. Century after century, the area was raided and invaded by a who's who of European empire builders. The Hittites, the Persians, Alexander the Great, the Romans, the Byzantines, and the Ottomans all laid claim to the land at one time or another. During the Roman period, persecuted Christians fled in droves to Gurame, a town in Cappadocia. There they learned that the soft tuff could easily be excavated and built homes and churches in the chimneys. They expanded ancient caves into underground cities like Kimakli and Derinkuyu, massive refugees that could shelter thousands. Now designated a World Heritage Site, the rock sites of Cappadocia and Gureme National Park are described by UNESCO as one of the world's most striking and largest cave-dwelling complexes. For centuries, locals would flee into these tunnels under threat of invasion, shielding themselves from outsiders with heavy stone doors and intricately designed traps. Today, these hand-dug artifacts create a remarkable bond with Cappadocia's natural wonders.